Jane is an orphan who lives with her evil aunt. Jane was only an infant when her parents died and left her to a loveless childhood. When she was 7 years old, she was sent to one of the poorest boarding schools in England. Even though Jane had left her horrible home and terrible circumstances, darkness was still surrounding her. At Jane's arrival, she immediately made a new friend. For the first time in the abandoned orphan's life, she met someone who cared for her and loved her. She met someone worth admiring, a role model to imitate and revere.
Dreams are like angels, they keep at bay. Love is the light scaring darkness away. I am so in love with you. Make love your goal. The power of love, a force from above.
Her one and only friend, the only one she had ever cared for, passed away by a disease. For Jane, who never had had anyone to care for except this one friend, the sorrow was extreme.
Make love your
One day, Jane received a letter with a proposal, asking her to come and work as a tutor for one young girl. She was offered a settlement and food for her tutoring. Jane's terrible youth had finally come to an end. Her future was bright and promising. She had found hope and meaning with her life. Jane met a man whose purpose was to change her life. His presence made her feel like she was drowning in red roses. Her entire body was sparkling from this wonderful feeling, and she felt an instant connection to this stranger, an urge to meet him again. The man she met that day, Mr. Rochester, turned out to be her employer and the master of the house. Therefore, she spent every day in his presence, and they developed a deep relation to each other. Jane's feelings had become grand, overwhelming, and breathtaking. She felt as if she was soaring in skies, and nothing could break this incredible bond she had to Mr. Rochester. Her feelings were answered by Mr. Rochester, who proposed to Jane, asking her to spend the rest of her life with him, whereupon Jane accepted his offer of marriage, extremely happy and unaware of his past. He was already married to another woman. The revelation of the secret left Jane heartbroken. He belonged to someone else. Everything she felt was for nothing, and her fragile heart was bleeding. She couldn't stay with this betrayer any longer, so she decided to leave him. The lonely orphan ran for several days, not knowing to whom or where she was going. She was once again left all by herself, abandoned from her safe haven. After several months apart from Mr. Rochester, she develops a yearning for him. Suddenly, a voice appears in her head. Jane! Jane Eyre! I need you! Come, my darling! Her love reached out for her through her mind, and she knew what she had to do.
It's like watching the night sky. All the beauty.
Her intuition led her to the love of her life, who now had become a widower. A life with him was now possible and her future was secure. Jane knew how she would spend the rest of her life. Her heart was healing in his attendance. During her absence, she had realized that her one and only place in life was with Mr. Rochester. Finally, she was complete.
Lately I've been waking up alone. Paint splattered teardrops on my shirt. Told you I